Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, and welcome to a new week and a new edition of the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. Just on the side, we are having extremely unseasonable weather here in Israel. It's very hot, it's very windy, and several fires have been reported in the north of the country. While we're on the subject of fires, I just want to appeal for a few minutes to our readers and our viewers who are in New South Wales and in Queensland, Australia, that have been hit quite severely by wildfires. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you all, and our hope is that these wildfires will be contained very, very soon. As somebody who's also a wildlife lover and aficionado, I'm also quite disturbed to hear of koala populations also under severe threat as a result of wildfires. But please, friends in Queensland and New South Wales and in the north of Israel, please stay safe. This weekend, on the Saturday night and Sunday, we have stood in remembrance of Kristallnacht. We remember it has been 81 years since those devastating days of the 9th and 10th of November in 1938, which many of us see as the harbinger or the start of the Holocaust. It was a night where synagogues across Germany and Austria were destroyed, were set on fire. It's called Kristallnacht because it's named for the broken glass that littered the streets. Jewish businesses were looted. Many were painted with signs calling for boycotts, and that is why today we see movements like BDS as extremely anti-Semitic, because their calls to boycott and their labeling of products and places and stores takes us back to this very, very traumatic time in our history. It was also the night where 30,000 Jewish men were arrested, rounded up, many of them sent to concentration camps. Many Jews were beaten and killed, many Jewish women raped, and this was the start of the roundups and the start of deportations, first to concentration camps and later to the death camps and the ghettos. While we are speaking of Kristallnacht, we have to speak about the fact that these events did not happen in a vacuum. They started with words, and the Holocaust started with words and acts of hate and not gas chambers and crematoria. And it's very, very frightening to see that over the 2 days where we would hope that people would learn from history, there has been a notable increase in anti-Semitic activities across Scandinavia, across the United Kingdom, across the United States, and other parts of the world. And it's a call not just to Jews to remain vigilant, to remain strong, and to speak out against rising hatred, but also to our allies, people from communities that aren't Jewish. Please join us in advocating against anti-Semitism, reporting acts wherever you see them, and making sure that the hate speech that results in very, very frightening activities and times of history never happens again. We swore never again. Well, never again is now, and we really appeal to everybody to please take a stand. Well, we are nearly at the end of the time that Prime Minister-designate Benny Gantz has been given to form a coalition government, or government of national unity, which is the proposed solution that both Gantz and Prime Minister Netanyahu would prefer. However, they're still at a stalemate over the agreements, and earlier today Benny Gantz said that he's willing to compromise if we can move forward to a unity government. We'll never want to be silent. Israel Beitenu leader Avigdor Lieberman, who's often called the kingmaker, he weighed in on events and he said, why don't they just toss a coin? As you can imagine, supporters of Prime Minister Netanyahu laughed at him. They said, we need to remind Mr. Lieberman that this is Israel. We do not settle negotiations based on a coin toss. They were alluding to the fact that he is an Ole, that he was born in Monrovia. And over the weekend, Prime Minister Netanyahu, who's often faced a lot of criticism for holding more than one portfolio, he gave Hayamina HaChadash, or the new right leader, Naftali Bennett, the very, very coveted portfolio of Defense Minister. This has gotten a lot of people's backs up, many saying that he could compromise and give that particular portfolio to the blue and white that has two ex-RDF chiefs of staff in Gabi Ashkenazi and also in a former ex-defense minister like Moshe Bogiya Alon, and also Benny Gantz is the former Ramatkal or RDF chief of staff. The other coveted position of foreign minister is currently held by Israel Katz. It's another portfolio that Kachol Levan covered. That could possibly go to Yair Lapid pending a final agreement. But things, as you can imagine, is getting very, very heated, and the hope is that the breakthrough happens very soon so that we don't go to a third set of elections. In other news, it has been 25 years since peace agreements with Jordan and the lease over lands that were previously controlled by Jordan being given to Israel. Well, over the weekend, King Abdullah of Jordan said that he will be taking control over those lands. Those lands, or the lease will not be renewed. However, despite the fact that soldiers have sealed off the territory, some 31 Israeli farmers in the area of Tzofar have been allowed to work business as usual. However, the land will fall under the remit of Jordan, and this comes as diplomatic relations between the two countries are becoming increasingly more tense. And just a reminder that Israel does have two peace agreements with neighbors, one with Egypt and one with Jordan, and we really hope that we don't see any more increase in tension because it is one of the great achievements and great motivators of the region that peace is possible. Well, what's also possible is you can check out our content online at www.layoftheland.online. You can check out my article on what happens when sports wins. It takes a look at South Africa's historic Rugby World Cup win, as well as efforts by many to try and derail Israel's position hosting a variety of players around the world, both in soccer and in judo, and how we are overcoming that. You can also check it out online on our Facebook page at Lotl Site. While you are there, please like us or follow us if you haven't done so already. And don't forget that you can check out our YouTube channel at The Israel Brief. Click on subscribe and you'll be notified when the daily Israel Brief is posted. Until tomorrow, I'm Raylene Marks. This is The Israel Brief. We'll chat again tomorrow.